Okay, what's going on, people? Anthony Williams. Today I want to bring you a quick video on psychology. Okay, more so revolutionary psychology. Most people that don't know, the philosophy that I follow is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But a lot of people don't know about Napoleon Hill, that he studied psychology very differently, and what were the laws that actually help people to draw more wealth to them. Okay, and what were some of them principles that he used in order to put together his philosophy. A work that I study, and I try to get deep into psychology, into the psychology of not only wealth building, but the psychology of the human mind and psychology of potential, the potential of the human mind. But today's work that I'm studying today is revolutionary psychology. Okay, it's by Samuel Henrior. The book is right here. It's Gnostic psychology. But I want to read you something out of this book right here, and I want to elaborate on it and go a little bit more in depth about attraction of wealth on a psychological basis, and why is it so important. Okay, so all things, all circumstances that occur outside ourselves on the stage of the world are exclusively the reflection of what we carry within. Okay, with good reason then, we can solemnly declare that the exterior is a reflection of the interior. Okay? So, when we're talking about wealth attraction, when we're talking about living a life of happiness, living a life of abundance, what does our internal states have to do with this, this attraction of wealth? Okay, so let's just go over it. The mind and our realities are reflected through our minds and how we perceive our external world. Okay, but more so internally, our internal states are lenses to which we perceive reality. Okay, so if we don't study what we have internally, most likely we're filtering our reality according to our internal states. So what do I mean by this? And let me go a little bit deep more into it. Let's just say if we have the internal state of lack, okay? Now we feel that there's not enough in the world to go around, okay? So we have that internal state. And now when we project onto the world, or when we try to accumulate our daily subsistence or accumulate wealth, we see that we have to act a certain way and be a certain way according to our own internal state, that there isn't enough in the world. So we're going to project onto our reality the things, and we're going to, our internal state is going to look in our environment in order to make that belief correct for us. So, we're gonna draw circumstances that's going to indicate to us that there isn't enough in the world. So how can we use psychology and begin to change our psychology for the wealth building and life freeing movement for happiness and everything else like that? Okay, in that work by Samuel Henrior, that work goes over the point of self-observation and knowing what your internal state is, and from working off of what your internal state is. So you can't, in the book it says, you can't move to a superior level of being if you don't know what you're being at this moment. Okay, it kind of makes sense, because most people try to change, but they don't observe what they have inside and what it is that they're trying to actually change. See, they try to change the external as opposed to changing the internal, and it's ass backwards. Okay? Now, if everything flows from within, then it would make sense to actually look from within, and then the outside would also change at the same time. So, self-observation is very important when we're talking about wealth creation and wealth attraction, because we have so many things in our interior that hinders us from moving forward on a psychological basis, and everything flows from the psychological basis, the psyche. Everything flows from the psyche and how we perceive reality. So if that is going on inside, it probably is a wise decision for us to start to pay attention internally to our internal states, so that we can have more abundance and more health, more happiness, and everything else like that. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this video short, but let's let's go over some of the psychological principles today and see what's going on. I'm not talking about studying psychology, but you have your own psychology, and to actually observe your own psychology on a daily basis so that you can see exactly what it is that you're trying to change internally. Okay? So I'm going to cut this video short, and I'll talk soon.